Hi! I decided to do a live very, very last minute. I'm doing one on Insta and on TikTok. It's been a while since I've done it. And this is like the part where on Instagram where like people are coming in. Hi! How's it going? This is last minute, not planned at all. I just had some time, so I thought I would hop on and answer anybody's questions that might have anything. So weird, I haven't been on TikTok in a while, so I'm doing a TikTok live and an Instagram live. It's been a bit. How is everyone? Hi! How's it going? Hi. All right, so I'm gonna bounce back and forth. It's been a while. Started today, so I thought I would hop on and be like, it's the full moon. How's everyone in the full moon? I know I have a breakout here and here and here. And it was, I had a headache yesterday and then this popped out right where my head was hurting. So it's kind of wild. It's been wild. How's everyone? I'm going to do my best to go back and forth. So if you have questions and I don't answer them, just keep asking and I will get to it. Yep. Okay. Before I forget, I need to plug this in. Yes, it can help with RA. Obviously, nothing's a cure. We just will talk to you about how it will help with pain and inflammation, and a lot of them are in the joints. So a lot of parasites, and as well as mold. So if you've never done a mold detox, you should do parasite detox first. About 2 to 3 Parafis is what we recommend. And then after that, you want to do the Moldies kit. We also have a support kit, which has the same products as the Parafi. So it has Sustain, Immune, and Recover is our support kit. And you can do that in between. Sustain is an anti-parasitic, but it's more mild than Parafi. That's why we put it in the support kit. Because Oregon grapefruit is not just an anti-parasitic herb, it's also an anti-inflammatory and burbine. It's that particular tincture, Sustain, is similar to like Ozempic because it helps you lose some weight, do the inflammation, and then Sustain and Oregon grapefruit together help curb your appetite and make you feel better. So we love Sustain. Sustain helped me drop a lot of weight. Heartworms, how common do they exit through the GI? Heartworms, your heart is your engine. It pumps your blood. So they're in your blood if they're in your heart. And yeah, you should detox. I think most heartworms for humans are threadworms, not medical advice, but that is what I know. Can you do an enema during Parafi? Yes, please do enemas. Coffee enemas are going to help with any die-offs. You get the Parafi kit from rogershood.com, also in my profile. And on this live, use Parafi10 as your discount code. It'll get you 10% off. So Parafi10 is your discount code. Don't be afraid. This is like the easiest thing you could do. It's literally 3 tinctures and a binder. If you get Super Parafi, it's Red Artist and then the 3 tinctures. It's super easy. I made it so easy so that you could actually go through and understand. Yeah, so, here's the gig with that. I have seen the info, and I'm good with whatever anybody wants to talk about. What he's talking about is that there's information that parasites are required in our microbiome. And maybe that is the case for some, but in my personal case, it was not the case. Cryptosporidium parvium wrecked my insides, and pinworms and roundworm wrecked my insides. So some people believe that you should have them and that we should live symbiotically with them, and I do not agree with that. But I mean, to each his own. I'm not here to argue anybody's point but my own, and mine is that we need to parasite cleanse 3 to 4 times a year. They actually cause havoc in most of our bodies. I'm kind of an expert at this point. I've been doing this for years. Doctors come to me and ask me for help. And so if somebody just decides that they think that this is the way it shouldn't be, then that's cool. They don't have to do it, but I'm going to continue to do it. And I got no qualms or beef with them. It's funny because I did a podcast last night with Disinformation, and they were like the frontline doctors. And they were like, has anybody talked to you about these guys? And I'm like, no. And then this morning I woke up and bam, Everyone was talking about it, and I'm just like, people are going to do their thing. They're going to do their thing. So it's cool, man. I'm going to continue to do what's good for me and what other people have success with the Parify kit, and that's that. Okay, day 2 here. The headache is no joke. I know how it's working. Okay, so if you get a headache during Parify and the beginning stages of taking our Parasite kit, then you want to increase sustain to 3 times a day instead of 2. It'll help push out the bacteria faster. You can continue to do that. We say twice a day just because it is also an anti-parasitic with Oregon grapefruit, and you want to make sure that when you're doing that you don't have too many die-offs. But go ahead and just increase your sustain to 3 times a day and continue to do that throughout the remaining of your cleanse. Parify 10, Parafy 10 is your Parasite 10% off code. Do you know what eradicates Mycobacterium? I know I remember talking with you before. You might want to put that in. I like Pinterest. They give pretty good information. So I definitely would go in and check that out. Hi, Nana. How are you? I know it's been a while because TikTok has not been very nice to me. Not just TikTok, the app, but there's been some people in the community that I have not wanted to share my life with because I've been treated pretty badly. So I haven't been on TikTok in a bit, but I thought I'm going to go ahead and do them both. I've got a little bit of energy today, which is pretty abnormal. I'm pretty busy and I'm really tired nowadays. So hi. I would go on Pinterest and just type in the name of your condition and what herbs. I would just type that all in. That's what I would do. So, I have chronic Lyme. It'll be with me the rest of my life, but I'm just tired, This is a lot. This has been a really busy business. We have grown exponentially. Jeremy and I were supposed to go down to Jonesboro last week, and we were unable to do so because of the weather, which I'm not really bummed about because I'm really kind of tired anyway. But we actually are in our last stages of finishing our 10,000 square foot facility. So that was a lot to take on, but we are close to being done with it. So I'm really excited about that. Can you do the Parasite Cleanse with kids? Yes, ages 3 and up is the Parasite Cleanse for Parify. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Ariel. She said you look beautiful, though. Thanks. I tried really, really hard. It is Lyme, parasites, and mold will take it all out of you, man. Yes, it can help RA symptoms. It can help with calming down the inflammation, the pain. Because they live in our joints and our joints have fluid around them, they can live in that. It's like lymphatic. And so they can live in our joints. So normally what we say about kids is because they're tinctures, you can kind of play around with it. It's kind of tailored to what you would like it to be. But we do say they can start out with 3 times a day. They can go 2 times a day. They can go once a day. It really is up to however you feel with your children. Yes, parasites can cause neurological problems. I have neurological issues like PTSD, anxiety, and depression. And when I cleanse, it calms down. I feel better. So because the gut is actually your first brain, not your second brain, it is what gives you the neurological assistance that you need when you can get your gut into control and when you get your microbiome into control. How do you know when drainage pathways are ready for cleansing? Making sure you do the 3 Ps. Peeing, pooping, and perspiring. Those are your options. And then when you can actually go through and look at making sure that like your skin is doing better. Like I know that I'm having issues, so I got into my sauna the last 2 days and like kind of sweated out, and that's what that is. So many symptoms that no doctors can probably diagnose, right? So you just actually go through and just cleanse and kind of see how you feel. And if all of a sudden you're feeling great, then you know that your root cause was from parasites. How long does your kit last? 30 days. 30 days. Hey Kim, me and my husband love your Parify kit. We're repeat customers now to try the Moldies kit. Oh, the Moldy's kit's one of my favorites. I really like the Support Tinctures Immune and Recover. You're gonna love them. You can actually do Immune and Recover with Parify. You just cannot do Moldy's and Parify together. So when you're done with the Immune and Recover, I actually use Immune during the season. Everybody's been sick but me and Jeremy. It's been quite amazing. We actually took Immune while we were traveling, and we did not catch that pneumonia, bronchitis, whatever that shit was that was going around. Jeremy and I did not catch it. And I really do think that it's the Immune tincture that I have. Recover is just really great for your skin, hair, and nails. You know, some of you know that I lost half of my hair with the mold. So I've been taking the Recover that is in that. And we sell everything separate. But I added it into the Support tincture or the Support kit because of the fact that it really does support you while you're going through this. If you guys didn't know, I've been on quite a few podcasts and I'm pretty excited about it. So make sure over here on TikTok that you follow me on Instagram, because I post all of my podcasts over on Instagram. I repost people's podcasts that I do because they're over on Instagram, not necessarily on TikTok. I try and get over to TikTok and post more things, but again, it's really difficult because I can't even do ads on TikTok anymore. TikTok has banned me from doing any ads. They've banned me from posting specific things. They've been really harsh on us. Recover has been great for my hair. So one of the things I can show you is these were all little baby hairs, and now this is how much they've grown. And again, all of this was broken due to my mold, and so now it's all kind of growing back. And I mean, this is all older hair, this is all newer hair, and it's coming back a little thinner than I would like, but at least it's coming back. Like you can see here where it's kind of started growing. These were all little broken pieces that I had from the mold, and it's taken a bit for my hair to grow back, but it's getting there. I'm pretty excited about it. If we did Gut Hero by Dr. Jess before Parify Cleanse, is that just as good as your gut cleanse? No, it's a little bit different. I love Dr. Jess's Gut Hero. It's amazing, but I would highly recommend the Gut Hero in between. We are a main cleanse. Gut Hero is more of a maintenance. It does help push out parasites. It does help do all of the things. So it's really great, but definitely stop Gut Hero when you start Parify, and then start Gut Hero after you do Parify, and it really is a great way of keeping your microbiome in your gut healthy. I'm on day 7 of the Parify Cleanse and have been breaking out on my chin, no worms yet. You can put Parify directly on that area. Hi, Tiffany. You can put Parify directly on the area. I should probably do that today as well, and it'll help dry it up. But just keep on going, man. Keep on going. Should your Parify Cleanse be addressed before mold? Yes. Parasites hang on to spores. So if you know my story, you know that I did parasite cleansing over and over and over for over a year. And then when I stopped parasite cleansing, my eyes started to swell shut, and I realized it was because I had mold poisoning. So all of the mold spores were held on to by the parasites. And then once I got rid of my parasites, then they dropped those spores, and the spores took over my body. So then I made the Moldy's Cleanse. Again, for kids, can aggressive and other explain? Yeah, absolutely. They control our minds. If you look at the issues with like toxoplasmosis, they go in and they control your mind. It's the same. They're stealthy. They live in our lymphatic system. They tell us what to eat, especially if you eat after 7 p.m. You have parasites, candida. I definitely think that you should try a cleanse. There's quite a few moms. I mean, we've sold over 70,000 kits at this point, and a lot of them were kids, and their grades went up. They felt better. We have a couple of gals that have autistic children on our team, and they've done them, their kids have done them, and they're just way better, because you're cleansing those toxins out of their system, and you really need to make sure that, you know, our environments are not the greatest anymore, and you need to make sure that they have a chance. When will the Super Parify Kit? I think next week. I think next week is when the Super Parify Kit is coming. Do you need to drop tinctures on your tongue? No, you can just put them in your mouth. You don't need to drop them under your tongue. Some people do, and they let it sit there. So should you, so you shouldn't cleanse unless you do it. I mean, you can do the mold detox, but I suggest doing the parasite cleanse first and then do the mold detox. And I suggest doing 2 to 3 parasite cleanses before the mold detox because they hold spores. And wormwood actually is an anti-mold, an antifungal, but it suppresses it. So you'll feel really great, and then you'll get off of the parasite kit and nothing really went in and removed the spores. So if you drink nettle tea while you're doing parasite, that's fabulous. That's a really great way to kind of intertwine parasite with moldies. So I just suggest doing parasite first, 2 to 3 of them, and then doing the moldies kit. It will help your mold kit be better. And some people actually dropped more parasites on moldies than they did on parasite. And it's because the spores are being swept out, right? So the spores are what we're trying to remove, and then the body can go in and help with everything else. My hair was driving me absolutely nuts. Miss Rogers, I have spores stored in the freezer. Is there any reason I shouldn't? I have no idea what that means. Why am I scared to cleanse? Everybody's scared to cleanse at the beginning. It's just them telling you to not do it. Everyone is afraid. Everyone. But that's why we have this community, and that's why we did all of the extras. All of the things that you need, we have it to help you now. So don't be afraid. It's all good. What do you recommend for those who are super sensitive? Go slow. That's what's amazing about tinctures is you can do 5 drops, you can do 15 drops, you can do it once a day, you can do it twice a day, you can do 3 times a day. Our protocol is 3 times a day, 15 drops of each of the tinctures. That's our protocol. But, yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Everyone is afraid at the beginning. Don't be afraid, though. It really is an easy, breezy cleanse. Best thing I ever did for my health. I mean, I can't even tell you, and I've got pictures of how wild I looked before. Like, I looked very sick. So, started my first cleanse. How many days do I do it for? Which cleanse? If you did parasite, the instructions are in there, and it's a 30-day cleanse. So my question is, do I need to be fasting when I first try it? So we have a recipe guide that's in my profile. You don't need to fast. Fasting is great, but you don't need to fast. So I'm in school and have 2 jobs. I've always been concerned about the effects it will have on my work. Any tips for managing it? Just go slow. Just do your best, because all you can do is just your best, right? 3 rounds of parasite cleanse would be a year's worth for every season. Every season. Hold on. Because my team did not get back to me, so I came live. So I need to tell my team I'm live now because nobody got back to me. Let me tell my team. Hold on. Okay. Will a cleanse help with chronic fatigue? Absolutely. Brain fog, chronic fatigue, IBS, IBD, weight gain, weight loss, grinding of the teeth, acne, all of these issues can stem from the root cause of parasites. What if I can dose every 6 hours because it's work? That's okay. 3 times a day is the best you can do. Then you do it 3 times a day. If you can only do it 2 times a day, something is better than nothing. Our protocol is 3 times a day, but if you can only do 2 times a day, that's fine as well. Just do your best. Why does alcohol make toilet water shake? Is this really testing I have no idea. Do we need to take the binder every day or just when you're filling die-offs? Okay, so here's my opinion. My opinion is I don't take the binder every day. I take it when I need it. But some people's opinions are you should take the binder every single day, unless you're not pooping. As soon as you stop pooping, you got to stop binding. So if spouse is not doing cleanse, you can't. Yes, you just need to worry about yourself and know that as soon as they start to see you're healthier, they'll want to do it next. Aw, thanks. I feel healthier. I feel healthier for sure. I mean, I was very, very sick, very sick. I did not look good. I did not feel good. Things were not going well for me. And now I have a quality of life. I actually feel like my quality of life is better than it used to be. My quality of life before was always, I got to push until I can't do it no more. And now I push and I have some limits and I feel much better. Can parasites cause mental illness? Yes. And psoriasis? Yes, it can. I have my different types of mental health issues, and I've never been afraid to talk about them, is I have severe PTSD, and I get stellate ganglia blocks, which is where they go into C3 and C6 and do an injection with lidocaine, ketamine, and steroids. And it helps tremendously. I also used to take anti-anxiety medications. That's kind of what started my whole journey. So I am much better than I was mental health wise. Can parasites cause sun sensitivity? I mean, they can cause a lot of things. I've never directly correlated them with that, but it's possible. I haven't been taking the binder because of the RA meds. That's okay. It's no problem if you're not taking the binder. It's okay. You're still getting them out of your system. The binder is just an additional help. Again, some people think that you have to take a binder, but you do not unless you're having major die-offs. However, I highly suggest you increasing Sustain to 3 times a day if you're not taking the binder at all. And I understand because of medications. Binders are wonky. You can also look at Cellcore. Their option is in my profile under, I think it's under Order Meds. I'm not sure, but Cellcore's in my profile or in one of the ebooks. I think it's in the Fast Track. I love Cellcore's biotoxin binder. It can be taken with anything because it's made with fulvic. Now our fulvic, hi Jeannie, our fulvic cannot be taken internally. It's an external fulvic cleanse, but their fulvic can't because they have ingestible fulvic. Yes, you can take Immune with Recover. You can actually take our Immune and Recover tinctures with the Parify kit also during your Parify cleanse. And I highly suggest it. It's very supportive. They're like a supplement. Immune has mullein in it, so it helps with all of that nastiness that is being excreted while you're doing it. Hi, Tiffany. So I definitely feel like the best thing when you're doing the Parify is to add Immune and Recover with it. I've heard from Sam Bruno, who's done it this way now with her second cleanse, that it was an amazing cleanse, even though it was a harder cleanse than her first cleanse because she added Immune and Recover. It was a game changer for her. Any tips to avoid bathtub stains? I know, it's so funny. My team actually just talked about that. Let me give you what they said to do. And we're also going to be putting some information in I think it was water cooler. Okay, here it is. So we're going to put some tips from the hood, all of the tips that we've collected from the community. We're going to put those into the next ebook. And one of the things that Nina said was thieves. It looks like it's like I'm not sure what it is. I just looked at it and I thought, oh man, I need to remember this. It's thieves, and her bathtub was stained and she struggled with it. I've been saying peroxide and vinegar, not together, but peroxide and then vinegar. And I don't have a bathtub, and I've never done a soak in the full body. I've only done my feet. It's Young and Living. Okay, that's what she said to use then. I use Thieves products. I use Thieves products from Young Living. One is a spray and the other is a scrub. That's what she put. So try that. I don't have Young Living, but Nina does. Nina does. I can ask her to put her link in. Nina, can you send the link to the Thieves and your Young Living? Oh my God, I have a Mac. I hate it. I love the smaller Macs. I got a bigger Mac for Zoom and podcasting. Terrible. terrible. Like it doesn't type well. I don't know. Anyway, white vinegar, Dawn dish soap, and water in a spray bottle works great. Thank you, Hall. I will let them know. Also, let's put, you guys could just see my desk. It's a disaster. What was it again? Let's see. Let me scroll down. White vinegar. Oh, Jesus. White. Hold on. I was not planning on taking notes, but I'm going to now. All right, here we go. Here, I'll show you. Here we go. I got my Mac, my phones, my iPad. Okay. Put this in tips. White vinegar. Oh my gosh. Vinegar, Dawn dish soap. Wait, oh, it's gone. Oh, there it is. And water. I'm gonna put distilled water. You should do distilled water in spray bottle. Removes fulvic. Okay, this is why I want to do tips from the hood community so that we can get all of this stuff in one place like we did with the cookbook. That was the coolest. That cookbook, you guys, was amazing. It was amazing. I loved it. Because I don't do recipes and I don't do a whole bunch of cooking. I've spent my life doing medicine, so I've never really done cooking, or I'm not really good in the kitchen. I like eat the same thing every day. I have red bell peppers and cucumbers and sprouts for lunch every day. Ooh, Young Living is great. I should probably do that. I should probably look into more Young Living. Okay, if I missed any of your guys' stuff, just keep asking me. I'll get to it. What does it remove? So fulvic I've never had any issues before with staining of the bathtub with a fulvic, but over the last 2 weeks, we've had a lot of people message us saying that it stained their bathtub. So we've been trying to find recipes for people to try to get rid of the stain from the black fulvic. Yeah. Besides doing a cleaning, people should try to get, well, of course, Izzy, this is just a really great way for everybody to kind of start to figure it out. For me personally, this was my root cause. This was my endometriosis cause. This was my, obviously my Lyme issue is co-infections with parasites. Parify helps with candida. It helps target candida with sustain. So our kit, Parify kit, is parasites, candida, and heavy metals. Okay, threadworms is pinworms, so they're the same thing, and the only reason why there's any confusion is because most people, pinworms, which I say is lice of the butt, because it's true, pinworms, when they get into your body, actually cause a thread, and they start to attract to each other and create a thread, and that's why I say threadworms inside the body. You can get them in your lungs, your heart. That's where I had them, caused a lot of chest pain. And then they're pinworms still. They're all in the roundworm family. But when they get up into your body, they thread themselves together. And then pinworms are in your bum. And so that's the little white ones. But if you look at the way that pinworms look in a microscope, or if you look at them like in your panties or around you, they're smaller, and when they start to get into your body and start to infest each other, they turn longer, they look like a thread. That's kind of the difference. That kind of helps. Hi, Clean Eve. How are you, my friend? It used to stain our bathtub, but once we got a whole house water filter, it doesn't anymore. That means they have hard water, but borax will clean it easy. Okay, let's write this down too. Borax also can help remove the staining. I am on a live asking the community for suggestions. Okay. Oh, that came off. Let's fix that while I'm sitting here. Sorry, TikTok. My little sticker came off. Okay. Let's see if that helped. Perfect. Okay. I just love you and I love your lives and your products are fantastic. I'm really going to try and focus on cleansing, detoxing, and deworming parasites. Yay! I mean, that's all you can do, right? Just do your best. Just do your best. What can I do to cleanse before taking Parafy? So we have a fast track guide for free up in my profile. It's about 17 pages and it will go over everything you need to do. So when you guys have these questions, you can always check my profile and you can always email us. You can DM us. I have a whole team that goes through with me in my questions and the DMs and comments. It's not just me anymore. I can't do this by myself anymore. I do have a team of about 6 of us now. I don't know, depends. Let's see, I've got Nina, I have Natalie, Shelly, Lavon, Emily, JF, and Michaela. So there's 7 of us. Here's a simple solution to the bathtub problem. People need to real clean the bathtub and then seal it. Okay, but until then, we want to work on what is the best way to get rid of it. I don't talk about the C word. It's just not good. It's not good practice, right? I'm already kind of going up against the big P, so I don't really want to go up against the big P with the C word as well. A year into cleansing and I'm still releasing them. Thank you for all you do. Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm a few years into it too. And, you know, like this, I know for a fact is something trying to get out, right? Because it hurts. I had a headache behind my eye. Breakouts are usually an indication that you've got something going on in your body. We did not get filters on our water here in Seattle's apartment before we moved in. And so, oh, thanks, Crystal. I tested the water here. It's not great. So, you know, those things all affect us. Wow, that's great. Thanks for the support. Again, if I didn't answer your guys' questions, just keep asking them. I will repeat them. I've got Hashimoto's. Will this help during a parasite cleanse? Absolutely. We should all be cleansing 3 to 4 times a year. We should all be cleansing 3 to 4 times a year. All of us. That's the way our life should be. Mexico cleanses twice a year. No questions asked. No one thinks they're crazy. All of a sudden, Western medicine countries like Canada, the United States, Australia, you know, we're just new to this. This is something that our ancestors did 100 years ago. It's only been 100 years that Western medicine's been around. 100 years. And we've had problems for 100 years. So let's just say that Western medicine is not all that. It's really great. It's good for emergencies. It's good when you need to know things. But it's not here to sit and cure you. It's not here to help you. It's here for emergencies. And if you look at it that way, and I come from Western medicine, I have 2 degrees. I worked in the field for over 20 years. You know, I worked in the field since 2004. And I'm telling you guys that this just wasn't something that we discussed or we talked about or we spent 3 minutes on it and we moved on. Like, there is not a lot of science behind this when it comes to Western medicine. However, other countries, like I think Clean Eve just said, Korea does it, yes. And I heard that your husband said that our tinctures tasted very much like the medicine he grew up on in Korea. Yeah, I mean, you had to, it was a mandatory thing to deworm. And, you know, other countries have the synthetic prescriptions like fenbendazole, menbendazole, tapeworms are pretty common. See, it's just not a practice here yet. And over the last 2 years, I'm seeing it become more of a practice. I'm seeing more doctors. I spoke on a podcast yesterday with 2 MDs. And they both were like, oh my God, is this a thing? And I showed them a picture of what I used to look like and what I look like now. And they're like, this is a thing. And I'm like, we're sick. Our water is trash. Our lives are trash because we're eating trashy, we're feeding into them, we're not doing anything to take care of them. And I get a lot of questions about, well, what happens when I do a colonoscopy or when I take certain medications? Why do you think that like Tylenol, so think about it this way, when you're treating strep, you don't take Tylenol, right? You take an antibiotic that gets rid of strep. It's the same thing with parasites. You can't expect to take all of these other things that aren't antiparasitics and have them rid your body of parasites. It just doesn't work. You have to take an antiparasitic in order to rid your body of parasites. And if you take an antiparasitic and you start to feel better, you found your root cause. Like, it's really this simple. We have just made it not be this simple. We have learned to not make it this simple. And that's just really sad for all of us, but I'm trying to simplify it a lot. Can I take the drops with other supplements or no? Yeah, we don't want you to discontinue anything unless you're on blood thinners, you can't take Parafy or any anti-dewormer, honestly, any wormer. You can't take, if you're on chemo, under the age of 3, breastfeeding or pregnant. Those are the 5 rules for all cleanses. All cleanses, not just Parafy, but we went with the strictest herb, which is wormwood and black walnut hull. Thank you, Mama Bear. You can buy our merch. You can buy our merch. Jeremy's best friend does our merch. We've had merch for 2 years. I love this one. This one is newer. We also have the big Amanita, and some of you may not know my Amanita story, but Amanita saved my life. So, no, you cannot take out any antiparasitic. You want to do one deworm at a time. You do not want to do multiple cleanses, okay? You don't. Slippery Elm has helped me a lot with going to the bathroom and getting more oxygen during the cleanse. Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to remember that. Slippery Elm. Slipper Elm. So I don't have to stop. No, please don't stop any of your supplements. You want to keep staying on everything. You need that extra support. You really need to get your body boosted. Do you have to be on a strict diet during the cleanse? We do recommend no meat, no carbs, no gluten, no alcohol, no sugar. And we do have a community recipe guide, which also has the do's and the don'ts in it. It's free. You can download it up on my profile. It's the Rogers Hood Community Cookbook. That's my recommendation. I bought a cleanse that I'm doing right now as I wait for the Parafy cleanse. Is that okay? Yeah, just give yourself 7 days between each of the cleanses. Hi, Kim. How long does it last? Hi. I bought it. It's 3 years. It's good for 30 days. But it's the shelf life is 3 years. My son is passing flukes. What does it mean? That he has liver flukes, and you should be doing a Parafy cleanse back to back, 7 days between. You can do it 3 to 4 times a year. I definitely suggest if he's passing liver flukes that this is something that you put into your life every day. Every year, make sure you do it. Should you take the vitamins at the same time? All of our stuff has instructions. So I highly suggest doing the instructions. But the biggest thing is you want to do whatever you need to do in the morning. So like I do a thyroid med. I normally have clippers. You shouldn't do this because you could get pinworms from biting your nails, but I got a hangnail. Anyway, you should do your thyroid med, and then you wait 30 minutes, and then you do the Parafy, and then you wait and you do your supplement. But we give instructions, and all of the instructions are on our website as well, rogershood.com. All the protocols I talk about are also on there. So I don't have to stop. No, don't stop. What do you mean supplements? So I really do suggest going in and downloading that fast track guide. I talk all about it in that fast track guide, and you can also get different links, full scripts, and other options that we suggest for supplements while you're taking them. I really like mushrooms. Fresh Cap is my go-to. Use Rogers 10 as your discount code. Oh, thanks for the fun little things. Okay, yes, we have a nut-free option. We ship internationally, and if you do need international, email us because we know international is crazy. You need to wait You should never do anything while on an antibiotic. You should always wait. And usually wait until about 7 days after you get off of the antibiotic. Anytime you're wondering a question and an answer is usually 7 days. That's about when your body can start to slowly reset itself. Are you having a sale? Parify 10. Use Parify 10 as your discount code. I really need this. You are back in stock. Every time I check, it's sold out. We're not ever sold out of Parify. We're sold out of the Super Parify kit, which has the red artist. I gotta go fix this now. It has the red artist. That's what we're sold out in. Again, this one fell. All right, hold up. All right, let me get my other holder. Just a moment. You guys like my new view? Where did I, here it is. Okay. Let's see if this helps that. Because that was sliding. I don't have as good of a setup with this as I do on that one. Okay, let's see if this helps. Okay. All right, let's try this now. Technical difficulties. It was like cradling on it. And no, it's not. These stands, man, these stands are not the greatest. Like, don't ask for it to turn if you're just gonna have it slide down there. Someone needs to make a better stand. All right, let's try that. Let's roll with that. I'm going with it. I'm going with it. Okay. Your puppy has worms. 100% you guys all have worms then. Make sure that you deworm. And I do recommend Safeguard. It's up in my profile. It's not mine, but Safeguard is fenbendazole. And if you should go to the vet though. And I also have an option. It's not mine. It's Dr. Clark's. And she shows, I did it on like a slide so it's easy to read, but it's the pet protocol. It's all natural and how you can keep them away, like basil water. So you can go in and look at all of that on rogershood.com. Can you recommend some supplements while cleansing? I think I answered that one already. Again, if I missed it, just ask. I will do my best. Mimosa, Paducah, you know, it's good. You never want to mix that with our cleanse just because it'll be really uncomfortable with die-offs. But there is a good mimosa up in my profile. Gene Felix, he works on our team. I love him. JF is awesome. He is has full scripts and he can do labs and all of that is in our profile. And so full scripts, he has created an entire thing for you guys to go in and look at all of these questions so that you can have access to full scripts. And he has a mimosa on his full scripts. JF is what we call him. Love him very, very much. He's the one that has been doing the ebooks with us. He is just really making Rogers Hood just beautiful. And I haven't done a really big video about him because I make him so busy that if all of a sudden I do a video, it's gonna make him busy, and I'm a little selfish because I don't want him to be overly busy because I need him to be a part of the team, and I seem to make a lot of people busy. But I love him very much, and again, all of the information that I talk about is in my profile, in my link tree, and you can always reach out. I will save this live, but you can always reach out to our team at rogershood.com. All of the information again is in my profile. I just want to make it as easy as possible because doing this is very difficult. I know when I first was starting, this community was not really here, and it was really sad because I needed people. I needed to know where to go. I needed to even know where to go get mushrooms. Like, I have so much options in my profile. It's unbelievable. You can get anything you want up in my profile. Is constant phlegm more mold, fungal, candida, or parasite related? I'm going to say it's all of the above, but you start with parasites, and we honestly help as much as we can with the Parify kit, and then that's why we then brought in moldies, because a lot of people that have histamine issues as well as respiratory issues, 100% it's mold. I noticed that when Jeremy and I go to the log home and then he comes back into a non-moldy type of environment, he sneezes a lot because it's getting out of his system because he's breathing that fresh air. And someone on here asked why we moved. And we moved because Rogers Hood and Parify took over our life, and we 100% have not finished our log home. And I don't share a lot about that personal part of my life, but I will share this. We went up until October of this year, of 2023, without heat, because all we could do is work on pushing Rogers Hood. So it just became time for us to be able to kind of pull ourselves away from that responsibility and get a fresh mind. Also, there's a lot of Cladosporidium spores up in Hoodsport where our home is, and it's very sad because I might never be able to live there full time because of it. I got a lot of molds in my body, and so we're trying to figure out on my own body how the mold up there is affecting me, because there is active mold, not active toxic mold to everyone, but active mold, and people that have Lyme, parasites, and mold issues like I have aren't always able to live in that spot for life. Just like some people have to leave Arizona because of valley fever, I might not be able to live in Hoodsport full time because of clado and just as much aspergillus that's in the air. Mold is a natural occurring thing, but some people's bodies just cannot handle the mold like other people. Jeremy doesn't have as much of an issue as I do, and we learned that a lot over the last 2.5 years since all of this has happened. But just keep that in mind, that it's not a bad thing. It's just sometimes that dictates where you can and can't live. I get inflammation as well, the official fun size G, and heart palpitations in moldy places. And now Jeremy does. Actually, we were in Jonesboro and we were staying at this Airbnb. 15 minutes we stayed at this Airbnb, walked in. He immediately, his eyes started to swell shut, and we walked right back out, right? Because he was like, there's mold. So then we went into the shower area, and the lady had put tiki wood down in the shower. And we lifted it, fucking black mold everywhere. I'm like, first off, don't put tiki mold in the shower, okay? I know they say tiki mold is good, but like they're talking tiki mold in like saunas and steam, not in consecutive showers. And she never moved the tiki mold flooring. Anyway, I digress. I was thinking that when you show the cabin, I don't know what that means, my friend. Can I use cayenne pepper while cleansing? Yes. Will parasites cause basal cell skin? I don't know. I don't talk about the C word. I was on a podcast last night and they asked me the same thing, and I said, I know nothing about that. So I'm going to stick with that. I know nothing about that. It has been a wild journey, hasn't it? Like those of you that have followed me from the beginning, I just never would have thought, I just never really even shared everything either. I don't think a lot of people realize Jeremy and I were in not a good financial place. We were living on food stamps. We were living in food bank food. We were struggling to eat. I was really fortunate that I went viral and companies sent me stuff, because there's no way that I would have been able to do this financially. We had no money at all. We actually lived off $10,000 for 2 years. And I budgeted it so we had about $200 a month to live off of. And we really did live off of about that. So it's been a wild journey for us. We did move into an apartment here in Seattle just because I needed kind of a little bit of a different place. Like we talked about, I need to be able to get my levels down in order to see if the log home is what's contributing to my high mold levels. I have 11 molds in my system from my IgG. Now, if you go and get any of your blood work done and you have an IgG level, that is a level showing past numbers. You need an IgM, and that will show present numbers. And so I kind of have both levels, and I have such high levels of mold. So we're gonna stay here for a while. I'm just doing very limited visits to Hoodsport and to my log home, and it was a little devastating last month for me. We moved here in December, and it was not the best transition for me because I've worked my whole last 5 years of my life building that log home, and it was very sad for me. So I'm doing better though, and I really do like living here. The connection with the full moon is the full moon makes your serotonin rise, which is the happy hormone in your body, and they live off serotonin. So when something's high up, then all of a sudden they'll come in and they'll tackle it and they'll eat it. And so that's what makes people kind of go a little bit nuts. I have a question, and it's a bit embarrassing. Go ahead and ask. What kind of testing shows this? Well, you can go to parasites.org and they have a stool test. It's the most accurate test that I've taken. You can get a blood test during the full moon and look at your EOS, your eosinophils. Your eosinophils, if they're high, that's parasites, mold, and fungus, which can be candida. It also can be just an infection in your system, but most of the time when you have a high EOS, it's actually caused from parasites. I was wondering about time for opening pathways. My Parafy kit's on the way. Thank you. You can head over to my profile and get that's so funny. You can head over to my profile and get that fast track. You should try and open up your pathway, I don't know, about 2 weeks prior to the cleanse. That is my suggestion. That's my suggestion. All right, I'm gonna switch this and see if it helps with this. I have a feeling this one's gonna die. I wasn't really planning on going live today. I just got off a podcast with a couple of really fun ladies. And I had some energy, so I thought, okay. Yes, ages 3 and up can do a parasite cleanse. Ages 3 and up. I ordered my kit some time ago and haven't opened it because my body wasn't ready. Get yourself ready. 3 years is the shelf life on Parafy, 3 years. What is the youngest age you can do it? Ages 3 and up. 3 and up. And it's the wormwood, black walnut hull, and Oregon grapefruit that dictates the age. So if you research and you find that you're comfortable with it, hi Debbie. If you research and you find that you're comfortable with it, under that age, that's up to you. But we have to tell you that it's ages 3 and up. 3 and up. My hair's wild today. After the Parafy cleanse, should I do the mold cleanse? Sure, Monica, but make sure you add Red Artist, because Red Artist is one of the best that I've heard from Nina. Nina is kind of a moldies guru at this point, just because she's gone through it like I did, and she loved Red Artist with moldies. How long kids can do the parasite cleanse? 30 days. This is great. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. What foods would you avoid? I would say that you should go up into my profile and download the ebook. It has all of the foods to do and to avoid. But here you go. No meats, no carbs, well, no meats, no sugar, no seafood, no alcohol. If you have to eat meat, eat white meat. If you have to eat meat, cook your meat really well and just do your best. At least try and eat 3 to 4 times a week with this restricted diet, and then you can have a couple of cheat days. It's okay. Do your best. Aw, thanks, Krista. You know, this is my merch. I've had this for like 2 years. This one Terrence just did. This one Terrence just did, and I got another one. But I have merch. Kimmy 1779, just do your best. Just do your best. After a couple of cleanses, it'll start to dictate what you should and shouldn't eat. Your body will tell you. Yeah, you can have raw milk because you have a cow. That's fine. We say to stay away from these meats because of how much parasites live in the animals. How often can we do the mold? You can do it every day if you want. You can use it as like as a supplement in your life. I like Immune and Recover. You can take those every day. Can you have honey during the cleanse? Yes, but unfiltered and unpasteurized honey is best. My Lyme symptoms were very similar to what I'm going through now. I feel like I have the flu all the time. I had a flare up the last 4 days. For me, I know when it's bad when I have mental health issues like anxiety and anger. Do we need to super clean during like washing sheets? You should, just to keep it as clean as possible. Have you heard about duck flour? I heard it's a cleanse as well. I haven't. Okay, let's see. I'm going over to TikTok. In case you guys are wondering, I have Insta here and TikTok here. In TikTok, I have Insta over here. And then my work is over here. I have my Mac over here. Have you gotten any feedback from anyone using this for chronic hives? No, but hives can definitely be parasite related. Parasites hold on to EBV. So in case you don't know what EBV is, it's Epstein-Barr virus and it causes mono, and I had chronic EBV. So I just recently got myself out of mono. I was out and then I went back in and then I went out depending on my stress level. But they hold on to that virus and then it'll drop the virus as you're deworming. So you want to make sure you go in and with all the support you can to make sure you don't get chronic mono. Agreed with everything except the meat portion. All carbs turn to sugar. We need high. That's cool. That's cool. You know, I mean, I don't eat a lot of meat and I just follow and tell everyone what the most strict diet is, which is the Candida diet. So, but if you eat meat and you need to eat meat, that's cool. We're just giving you the tools to make your decision, right? Have you gotten any feedback for RA? Yes. Probably half of our kits that have been done have been because of RA, fibromyalgia. They live in our joints. They live in the joint lube, basically, that's in your joints. They live in our lymph, which is part of the joints. So yes. What did you use to get my hair back? I use Recover, which is a tincture I have. It's oyster, shiitake, milk thistle, and pumpkin seeds. I also did Mary Roos, the hair, but it's so expensive and it gives me an upset stomach because there's synthetics in there. It's not all natural and my body can't process synthetics very well. So I do get headaches during the cleanse. That's a die-off. You want to increase your Sustain, which is one of our tinctures, to 3 times a day, as well as make sure you take your binder as long as you're pooping. Yes, you can take the Parafine Kit with H. pylori if you do a lot of research or go over to Dr. Jess's Wellness Plus, which I highly suggest. All of you on here, there's about 250 of you. You should go over and look at Dr. Jess's Wellness Plus program. It is how I found that I had mold. It's how I've researched my Lyme. She is a mold and Lyme expert. She's amazing. It's like $50 a month. You can join and cancel. I've got a link in my profile, but I suggest going and doing it. She is amazing, amazing. And I have a lot of cool plans ahead with her. She's going to be doing some consulting with me to just get me on the right track. But I have a lot of information that I think would be very good for her and kind of help us maybe tailor something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it all looks like, right? I mean, I'm just kind of getting a new lease on life here. I'm not sure why Dr. Zach's doing. I don't even know who that is, I'll be honest. I just got tagged like a million times in that video and I'm just not giving any energy to it because I think it's okay to disagree with people. I don't think they're right, but I'm not right. I'm not wrong, right? Like everyone has their opinion. I do not believe that parasites should be a part of our body at all. I'm proof of that. I can show proof and that's all I need. So Dr. Zach, like, I'm going up against a bigger force. I've been going up against a bigger force than a couple, like 107,000 people, right? I'm going up against Big Pharma here. Like, I'm talking about Western medicine. I'm talking about things that like are bigger than somebody's Instagram account that might have something to sell. I don't know. I personally feel parasite cleansing changed my life and has changed upwards of 80,000 people so far's life. And I'm so busy, and that's the proof I have, right? Just received my Parafy kit. Whoop, whoop. Why can't you eat potatoes and rice and sweet potatoes? So the reason why some of those are on the list, Mark Burford, I'm going to probably butcher your name, is because of the fact that it's acidic. So we're trying to make our bodies alkaline the best we can. And if those are something that you have in your diet and you have to eat them every day, that's cool. Just be mindful, do it in moderation. We do have that guide in our profile, but just do your best, honestly, because the more you make your body alkaline during the cleanse, the easier the cleanse is going to be. But eating these foods that are not on the approved list is not going to ruin the cleanse. The only way you can mess this cleanse up is by not taking it. And even if you just took it once a day, which we don't recommend, but even if you just took it once a day, you're getting herbs and nutrients and into your system that were not there before. I don't do calls, but you can email us, team@rogershood.com. team@rogershood.com. Hi, Worm Queen Diva, full moon ladies, let's go. That's right, it's the full moon. Okay, so you guys will laugh. So the area that I live in now, in Seattle, is the 3P. It's 3rd Pine and Pike. We actually live in the vicinity. But I just thought it was funny because I always say the 3 Ps, peeing, pooping, and perspiring. And now I live in an area that they say 3P every day. Does that mean we should drink alkaline water mostly during the cleanse? You should do 50-50. 50% alkaline and 50% regular. That's my recommendation. You don't want to make your body completely alkaline, but you're trying to remove that acidity from your body because they really like the acid. That's why they live mostly in our gut, right? That's why they live in there, because it's very acidic and they thrive in acid. Can I continue? Oh, heck yeah, you should continue sea moss. And if you have not tried Sammy's sea moss, oh my gosh, you guys, it is so good. Go over to Sammy's sea moss. I think it's Sammy's Purple Sea Moss. Head over there and check her out because it is so good. She has this one called Liquid Gold. It's so good. It's a turmeric based one. Oh my God. And then she sent me one that's called Love Juice. So we'll see how that one goes. It's literally for what you're thinking. How do you get alkaline water? Well, you can do it a couple of different ways. You can make it yourself with baking soda, but you can get it from like the grocery store. I don't know a lot about hydrogen water, so I don't have an answer for that. Oh my gosh, it is such good sea moss. Let me just tell you, it's so good. It's so good. I love it. Jeremy even takes it. And getting Jeremy to take anything over the last year was like super difficult, but now he's all about it. Let's see. Any thoughts on Shilajit? I love Shilajit. I don't take it every day like I should, but Shilajit's really great too. It's very similar to the sea moss. You can go open to my profile. I've got Neutronics. They have a really great Shilajit that is sun-dried. They also have gummies, and I like the gummies. They have drops. I like the drops because the Shilajit is like a resin. So sometimes it's really hard to like scoop. Have you heard about duck flower? I have not heard about duck flower, but I think you asked me that earlier and I have not heard about duck flower at all. I do not have sea moss, but Sammy sea moss is in my profile. And I love her. She's amazing. Sam Bruno. In case you guys don't know who Sam Bruno is, she wrote a couple of hits for Kanye West. I think Britney Spears is on her resume. She's done stuff for Lil Wayne. She's just overall a very creative person. Does parasites like lactic acid? If you think about it, many strains of probiotics. I don't know for sure. I'm not sure. When I suggested to my doctor here in Scotland that I may have a candida overload, he dismissed me. We all have yeast. It's a matter of when you're eating a bunch of sugar, if the yeast turns into candida, it's an overgrowth of yeast. That's what candida is, but it's a parasite because it eats off of your host. It eats off the host. Anything that eats off the host is considered a parasite, and candida eats off the host. I've had thrush symptoms. Oh my gosh, you have to try Parify and increase the Sustain, which is the second tincture in our kit, to 3 times a day. Also, you need to look at a GI detox or GI support. And there's a really good one in my profile that JF has put in there. You can also go to Fullscripts. There's another one that's less cost-wise. The one I take is a couple $100 a month. But the one that he has in his Fullscripts is, I think, like $70 a month. I also like Omni AB. So to control your candida, you definitely need to do something with a pre and probiotic. Also look at sauerkraut and kefir. It's gonna really help you a lot. And I will save this. I highly suggest taking some sort of pre and probiotic when you do any cleanse, you guys. Because even though ours is as gentle as you can get for a cleanse, it's still gonna strip some of the good bacteria that your body needs. So you need to make sure that you actually go in and replace that. It's just life, right? It's just life. Aw, thanks, Nurse Gone Natural. She wrote, "You are the bomb." That is all. It's been a while. TikTok, it's been a while since I've been over on this live too. Like, it's holding steady with the numbers. I'm pretty excited. Usually when TikTok starts to censor me, it goes from like 200 down to like 50. And I'm like, I'm not even being pushed out anymore. Oh, and they just totally stopped me from doing any ads over on TikTok. Thank goodness Instagram still allows me to, because that's how I'm getting my voice out there. Can this help SIBO? Absolutely. SIBO can stem as a root cause as a parasite. H. pylori, diverticulitis, SIBO, they're all a bacteria-driven, parasite-driven type of gut issue. And again, you should go into my profile. JF has done a beautiful job in my new link tree. If you guys have not seen that, Kimchi is great. If you have not seen the beautiful job that JF has done, he is just a blessing to our team. We have a great team, and he just came on at such a time that was needed. Why should we take the cleanse on an empty stomach? It just gives your body a fighting chance to go in and actually get in there and work better, and it doesn't have anything to compete with. When you take something with food, sometimes it can compete with that food when it's breaking down, right? So you're just trying to give your body a fighting chance to get the herbs in and really do what it needs to do. Oh, thanks, Garden a Dragon. You're absolutely amazing. I appreciate that so much, you guys. Would this help regulate menstruation? So I had a hysterectomy when I was 29 and I'm 45. So, you know, I haven't experienced that in quite some time. However, I have heard from Sam Bruno, and if you go over here on TikTok and you go over to my Instagram and you scroll through, I did a live with her, my last live with her, and she does talk about when she was on her period and how great her period was for the first time in her life. So she does recording and she's in the studio a lot, and she does photo shoots, and she used to have to schedule her life around her period. And since doing our cleanse the last 2 months, she has not had to do that. And so if that gives you any hope as a female, that you should, you know, be really conscientious about what you take when you're on your period and how it'll make you feel better, Parify is a good one. So bummed I didn't discover this prior to getting pregnant. Pregnancy and SIBO is miserable. Oh, I'm so sorry, my friend. But just know that when you're done and you're done breastfeeding, you should definitely cleanse. The full moon die-offs is real. Let me show you how real this is, right? This is real. This one hurts. It's an undergrounder. And when I'm done with my responsibilities today, this one is almost gone, but I'm going to go in, I'm going to put a hot compress and then some castor oil on that. Because let me just tell you, it is painful. There is a lot of discussion around what you should and shouldn't do or eat in the cleanse. Is this all instructions? Yes. And if you go to my profile, I have a community cookbook, which also outlines everything you should and shouldn't eat. I also have a fast track guide up there, and everything we give you is free. I do not want to gatekeep my knowledge, and I have hired people to help me write it all and get it all out to you. It's just a process. We had to obviously make some money in order for us to pay people to do this with me. On day 6 and feeling a headache and not well, any suggestions? Castor oil packs, go to the fast track guide, follow all of the pathway protocols with drainage, increase sustain to 3 times a day. Make sure you're taking your binder. If you need to find a really good binder, I like Cellcore's Biotoxin. I think there's an option in my profile. If not, you can reach out to Gene Felix, JF. He's in my profile as well, and he has an option for Cellcore. So I highly recommend that. I'm not a big fan of their pill Para 1, Para 2, but I am a big fan of their Drain Lymph and their Tudcut. Tudcut's been an amazing thing. Hi, Mona Lisa, thank you. Let's see. Is there a separate cleanse needed for parasite cleansing for diabetes? No, there is not. Just go slow and make sure you test your blood sugar a little bit more, because as you're detoxing, what's happening is your body's starting to go back to a homeostasis level and allowing your blood sugars to kind of come back down into a normal level as well. So you want to make sure that you're not taking too much insulin or too much medication that you're on. So while you're cleansing, your levels can go back down because your body's kind of going to a homeostasis level. Also, castor oil for thyroid health. Absolutely slather that onto your thyroid. Point a red light there. I like to do packs, but my go-to is always castor oil and slathering a red light. I love Therasage's red light sauna. It's amazing. I will slather myself in castor oil, and there is 2 really great castor oils out there. I will talk about that in a second. But go into your Therasage, just slather yourself in castor oil and just chill in front of that red light. There are 2 castor oils that I just love. Beautifully Balanced. They're up in my profile as well. They just got their stuff back in stock today. And also Lilana's. Wooden Gypsy is a close and dear friend to me. I love both of their castor oils. And then the third castor oil I love is Queen of Thrones. They are not a cold pressed castor oil anymore, but I do still love them very much. They have a really great pack, and I'm pretty sure that Beautiful Balanced, their castor oil, might be getting a pack here real soon, and also a dry brush. So stay tuned. They have amazing stuff. They're family owned. They're running a business kind of like I started with Parafy. Let me just tell you guys some exciting news, since this is going to be saved onto my Instagram account. If you're on TikTok here, I save my lives over on Insta, so you can always watch my lives over on Instagram. TikTok doesn't give that option. Shame on TikTok. They really should. I don't do lives as much on TikTok anymore because of that. However, let me give you an update on Rogers Hood. So most of you know that we started in a 175 square foot shop in December of 2021. And in November of 2022, we purchased a 2,400 square foot shop. In April of 2023, we added 1,000 square foot onto that. So now we're at 3,400 square feet. In August of 2023, we have run out of space. So we actually broke ground on a 10,000 square foot shop. We are 3/4 done with that shop, but these girls in our shop now are killing it to a point where we are under 1,000 kits in our queue. And so we are really trying to get to a grab and go, which means we want to have the kits made, grab them and ship them so that there's no wait. That is what we're working towards. So I feel like by the end of this year, we will 100% be able to be a grab and go type of company, which means there won't be a wait. That is what we're working on. We also were third party tested for pesticides, heavy metals, and microbes, which all tested negative. We're so proud of that. And we will be testing our products regularly for that. We also are looking at doing in-house testing, which is what a lot of different companies do. We will not sell to Amazon. We are building ourselves up that we won't have to sell to anyone. We just want to be able to continue doing it ourselves. We don't really trust a lot of people, obviously. And you know, most of you guys might not know this, but we actually make the kits ourselves. We soak our own herbs. And you know, because of that, I was relying on other people's testing. And I don't like to do that. So we sent all of our stuff out to a lab and made sure that everything was done correctly with the herbs that we purchase. So everything is done correctly. And then we also are looking at getting our machine in-house. So we will test all of the herbs that come in, because if you know how we do this, which I'll explain it, the way that we do this is that we get the herbs and we soak the herbs and we soak them in Everclear. So really nothing can live in that. But just in case something were to sneak out, which honestly nothing can sneak out of 90%, which we bring it down to 30% alcohol. But anyway, I just want to make sure, right? We're selling to a lot of people. We've had a lot of famous people do our kit. Jordan Sparks has done our kit. We have a couple of reality stars doing our kit. So we just want to make sure that there's nothing in there. And most companies that are like this should be doing this for us. So anyway, we're going to be doing in-house testing when the herbs come in. We'll test the herbs before we soak the herbs. And that is down the line. We got to get into this new shop, and then we'll just have everything you could possibly imagine for ourselves. Is a household best served by cleansing together? 100%, Liz. You should all be cleansing together. It will help definitely take the edge off, and then you guys can be together for support. But if one of you has something like pinworms, you all have pinworms. It's lice of the butt. I think I might coin that phrase. Okay, here's my question if you have time to answer. Go ahead, Irene. By the way, that's my middle name. Is your cleanse safe to take with blood pressure meds? Yes, but I would like you to go into my profile and go under Hello Pharmacist. It's a link up there, and you need to test your meds against our herbs. So go to our website, look at all of our herbs, go over to Hello Pharmacist, put your medication in there, and type in our herbs. The biggest complicated herbs are wormwood and Oregon grapefruit and black walnut hull. Those are the 3 herbs that have the most issues with medications. But you cannot do it when you're on blood thinners or on chemo meds. You are so hardworking and dedicated, so motivated to see your efforts. Well, you know, I've always been this way, but it's really nice when I work for myself. It's really nice that we have a little bit of money to be able to reinvest in everything we're doing. I feel like as a company, as a whole, and as someone who is also chronically ill, I do not appreciate companies that don't put that customer first. And I just know over time that companies lose their stride, and I never want to do that. So I'm constantly looking for ways to improve. I'm really fortunate that Erica is an amazing, amazing business partner, and Jeremy is an amazing husband, and Jack, Erica's husband, is amazing, and the 4 of us are dedicated to this. Erica's also chronically ill. We met on TikTok. She volunteered for free to make me the website, and ever since then I just appreciate everything that she's done in order to make our business this way. She is on the back end in production, and you know, that is the hardest part. What I do here is hard, but what she does is harder. So we just appreciate having these people that are this dedicated. Aw, thanks. I mean, I just feel like you guys trust us with your health, and that's really important to me. And I might not have an MD behind my name, but I do have 2 healthcare degrees and about 10 different certifications in my previous life. So this is the way I've always been, and I will always be this way. And I just really appreciate your guys' support in all of it too. I wouldn't be able to do all of this if I didn't have the support from you guys, you know. How do you do your lymph drainage? If you go up into the fast track guide in our profile, it'll show you, and you can start. How do I cleanse for my 8 and 5-year-old? Parify, it's for ages 3 and up. I don't need to be an MD to know things. No one really needs to be an MD to know things. And I think it's just alphabets behind your name, right? I feel like, hi menopause, I feel like if everyone knew my credentials, you would be like, holy shit. Because I have done every possible thing in the medical field prior to becoming chronically ill. I was a professor. I ran 25 healthcare colleges. I wrote curriculum for 4 different programs at these colleges. I was an auditor for post-secondary college. I did Title IV funding evaluations. I authored multiple different books. I was a subject matter expert. I sat with different MDs and I told them, I mean, right now I have MDs that are asking us on what to do. We have practitioners, we have nurses, everybody does our cleanse. It's so funny because Terrence, who does our merch, his brother went to the doctor for gut issues, and when he showed up for the gut issues, they said, you should go over to TikTok and look for this girl who talks about parasite cleansing and give it a try. And Chris called Jeremy and goes, oh my God, my doctor just sent me to Rogers Hood. And Terrence and Chris were like, that's Jeremy's wife. Anyway. What are your degrees and certifications? If you don't mind sharing, love your site and really want to try the cleanse. So I have an associate's in medical specialties and I have a bachelor's in healthcare. I was valedictorian in both of my classes. So that's valedictorian over about 20,000 students. I was number 1. I laugh because I'm just an overachiever, I guess. And then I was an EKG tech. I was a billing coding specialist. I had a pharmacy tech. I was medical assisting. I have a license in medical specialties. I let it lapse when I first started doing this because you can't have a license and talk like this to people. Not only will they come after you in a state, but they can sue you personally. So it just wasn't covering me anymore. And I wasn't able to talk about all of this until I let my license lapse. And then I just did like A&P authoring. So I also, I've lost my train of thought. How to detox 11? Same as adults. Same. The kit, Parify, everything's the same. Ages 3 and up. Were you not taught this in medical school? No, we weren't. You get about 3 to 10 minutes about nutrition, and also about parasites. I taught people how to do these labs, so that I do know personally. You get 3 minutes in the lab. You get to look at the stool, and then if there isn't anything moving, you don't see anything like an egg, which has a hard shell, you just move on. I'm not sure about mushroom coffee. I don't drink mushroom coffee. How many times can I take the mold cleanse within the year before I see results? You can take it every day, but your results are gonna know just from your blood work and how you feel. So there's not really a limit, and everybody's different. So the parasites come out of your stool. Not always, but that's why we do the Parify kit, to kind of help you regulate not having them come out of your skin. All right, I'm gonna stay on for 15 more minutes and then I'm gonna go. I'm getting a little tired. Will this work? Like, what about parasites in neck, face, and head? So that's your lymphatic system, and you're gonna want to go into my profile and download the fast track guide, and it's gonna help walk you through how to drain your lymphatic system, and then you can start cleansing. Parify is a whole body cleanse. It's not just your gut, right? Like they're not just living in your gut. They live in our blood, our tissue, and our muscle. Can someone with lupus take the cleanse? Yes, please, you should. If they are taking some medications that are for cancer patients, you should go up into my profile and I have a link. It says Hello Pharmacist, and you'll want to go up into that link and look at which medications you're on against our herbs. You cannot take any cleanse if you're on chemo meds. Week on week of parenting, would it be, week on, week off? Yes, you still can, and it will be really good just to get it into their system. Come out of your skin, like it comes out of your skin. This is your biggest organ, and if your pathways, peeing, pooping, and perspiring, are not open, they're going to try and escape out of your skin. Your skin is like the biggest organ in your body. So, I had a headache. Let's just talk about this, right? I had a headache behind my eye, and then I got this the next day, which was yesterday. Like, what do you think it is, right? Like I'm purging stuff. I took Parafine, and when it ended 2 days after, live worms were coming out of me, not sure if they got dormant. Oh yeah, I mean, when you start parasite cleansing, you're just starting. This is not a one and done. You have to do this the rest of your life. Western medicine countries are just not the smartest when it comes to this. Other countries cleanse 3 to 4 times a year. Mexico cleanses twice a year. It's mandatory in sports and different types of schools, but we just don't do it. So it's not a one and done. You have to keep doing it 3 to 4 times a year or with symptoms. Once open, how long is the shelf life? 3 years. I have some monsters coming out. I've lost over 30 pounds. A new lease on life. Thanks, Queen Kim. Oh, that's awesome, friend. That's awesome. 30 pounds. 30 pounds, huh? That's a lot. I think I'm down like 60. Okay, thank you. I'm on day 4 of my second cleanse. Yay, day 4. Eye parasites exist. Breakouts on chest. Is this parasite related? Currently on Parafy. Yes. And you can put Parafy on topically. So wherever the breakout is, you can put it there too. Does colonoscopies clean out, give any? No, because it's like Tylenol for strep throat. It doesn't do anything, right? You have to take an antiparasitic. So when you do a clean out for a colonoscopy, I've had lots of colonoscopies. I've been very sick. I've had endoscopes, I've had colonoscopies, and I still had worms. So, hey Kim, I have a parasite in my eye. No, do not put any drops in your eye. It has alcohol, it will burn. No. But you can take it internally. Or will it kill it by taking it? Yes, you can take it internally. Do not put anything in your eye. Never put anything in your eye unless directed by a doctor. How to avoid losing weight? Well, not everyone's going to lose weight on the cleanse, and some people will gain weight if they need to gain weight because your body starts to work appropriately again. So your nutrients are getting into your body, your metabolism will speed up or slow down. Right now your metabolism is extremely high, and so you're losing weight. But when your body starts to reach the homeostasis level that it needs to, you'll start gaining the weight like you need to. Again, if you're needing to lose weight, you probably don't have that type of parasite, and a lot of people that have tapeworms lose the weight and they're really skinny. Not everyone. Tapeworms are not always a guarantee that you're going to lose weight. But anyway, so you want to just bring your body to a homeostasis level, and that's what we're trying to do. And so if you're losing weight, you probably will start leveling out. I've seen a lot of people level out. We can put castor oil into the eye. Yeah, I don't know about that, Bella. I'm just not going to recommend anything in the eye. It is not my forte. How did you test your water? Parasites.org. It's in my profile. We're also looking at another company for water testing since we've tested our water here and it wasn't good. We're going to test it with another company just to make sure. RogersFood.com. George used Parafy 10. Can Parafy help with strep throat? So strep throat can be a result from a parasite, and all you're trying to do is cleanse your system. So as far as it being specific to strep throat, I don't know. But as far as my body and not getting sick this year, I've not gotten sick this year. We actually were in Reno, and everyone when we left had pneumonia or bronchitis, and Jeremy and I had nothing. So, hi, Dawn. How are you? Is it okay to cleanse if I have silver fillings? Yes, we use cilantro as our heavy metal detox. I also had silver fillings. If you watched any of my videos, I had all of the crowns that I used to have that had some sort of metal removed, and I did my cleanse just fine. But not all cleanses are created equal. Ours with Metal Flush is created equal with is created so that you can do it with metal in your mouth. Cilantro is really good for that. Let's see, drop a casserole. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. But I will never say to put anything in your eye, even if it says Marbonial. Sorry. What do you use for filtering your water? We use Water Drop and Blue Onyx. Blue Onyx. So we did a 3-filter stage system, one for the hot water and one for the cold water underneath our sinks, all of our sinks, our kitchen sink, our bathroom sink. And then we have a 5-micron filter and then an add back filter. So it's like Aqua Bliss on our shower. Anything that is above 5 will make it through that, and most parasites like nematodes are about 6 or 7 microns size, and so they won't make it through the 5-micron. Children with autism, what would you recommend? Parafy. We've been cleansing and it seems to help. Yeah. Parafy helps with the candida and the heavy metals that are in the guts of a lot of children that have issues. What is the connection between strep and parasites? Parasites hang on to strep. So strep is its own like strain, right? And they hang on. Parasites can hold up to 6 times their weight in toxins, viruses, heavy metals, and spores. Will Parafy take parasites in uterus when you are not longer on your menses? So you're asking if yes. So it's a whole body cleanse, which includes your uterus. Getting last week fillings removed today. Ooh, that's exciting. Make sure when you go home, if you have chlorella, which is chlorophyll, take that just to make sure that any metals that could sneak by. I have a really great tonic and gum. It's all natural, is my favorite, and I rinse my mouth with that now. Can you do parasite cleanse while on? I'm not sure. Navy Wife, you can go over to my profile. I have a link that says hello pharmacist. You can compare your herbs against compare your meds against our herbs. Day 5 of cleanse, I would like to say I stayed up for 24 hours. Super weird, too much energy. Oh my gosh, Dylan. That was the parasites. You can take Sustain 3 times a day. It will help with that. Will it help reverse colitic and bladder ulcers? I can just tell you it can help with symptoms. I'm not sure if it'll rid that or it does target those type of things, but any thoughts on aloe juice? I think aloe juice is great. Color by Chris. I had stage 4 endometriosis, beginning stages of cervical cancer. I've had 13 surgeries and hysterectomy when I was 29. And I no longer have endometriosis. It's in remission. It's been in remission for about 2 years now. I used to get surgeries every 2 years. That was my life. When I married my husband at 33 years old, I said, this is my life. I get surgeries every 2 years. And I have not had surgery since 2019. So if that answers your question. Any liquid binders in the works for kids age 3? No, but you can take our binder and put it into applesauce and stir it around and eat it. It works really well that way. And it has cinnamon, so it just kind of blends in with the applesauce. After metal fillings removed, use Chlorella. Yes, use Chlorella like right after if you can. Mary Roos has a good chlorophyll, and chlorophyll and Chlorella are the same, but they might have it at your doctor's office. If you're in a natural doctor or holistic or a biological doctor, they'll actually have some. I had endometriosis. I really need to find what you're talking about. Go into my profile. RogersHood.com also has it. I also used turkey tail, lion's mane, reishi, cordyceps, everything I talk about. I started this journey because I didn't want to have endometriosis anymore. It ruined my life. It made me disabled. I couldn't live my life anymore. I was very, very sick. And then I found out that I had mold and parasites and Lyme. So it all kind of correlates, right? Can kids do the full body soak? Absolutely. It's a fun family event. Constant pain and burning in hands and feet. Possible shingles. Can this help? It can help. It can help, yes. It's not going to rid anything, but it can help your symptoms. Okay. I want to order Parify. I just have questions about it. If you have questions, and I'm wrapping this live up here soon, probably in the next, I said 15, but I'll do another 15. You can always email us, team@rogershood.com. I have everything I talk about in my profile under Fast Track Guide, as well as the Community Cookbook. We're putting out different ebooks every month this year, so that you can go in and have any questions answered. You can research. I also recommend going over to Dr. Jess's Wellness Plus because she has everything there too. I think it's $50 a month to join, but you can join and cancel anytime. The link is in my profile as well. Everything I talk about is in my profile. I will never leave anybody just not having information. Is blowing very hot gas normal? Yes, and stinky gas. You're detoxing. You're pushing toxins out. You're allowing your gut to get the plaque and the mucoid and the poop just to kind of push down. So some of that stuff has been in there for a long time. There was a story about this gal who used to eat hair. She had a disorder as a child. They did enemas. She pushed all of the hair out, the blobs of hair, the amount of hair that she had, she said was crazy. And it's been 10 years since she's eaten her hair. She did gutty and then she did our kit and she pooped so much hair. So that gives you an idea of how much shit literally is living in our colons still. Still, that was my face, that was not me. Hold up. Yeah. That was a lot of poop, man. A lot of poop. You guys, I got the crisscross chair. You know, the viral one that's on TikTok? I freaking love it. It's like the best chair ever. It's the best chair. And then I got this thing. I got this thing and it holds your phone. You can like use it as like a... Because I've been recording like my neighborhood here in Seattle because it's pretty wild. And so I'm like, what do I do with all of it? So anyway, so I hold this. I've been holding it and recording people. It's pretty funny. All right, back to worms. Is it pointless to cleanse if my kids and husband aren't? No. Hi, Melanie. How are you? Been praying for endo help. Oh my gosh. Also, look at turkey tail color by Chris. I'm serious. Turkey tail, 5 grams a day. Lion's mane, 5 grams a day. Reishi, 5 grams a day. I love Fresh Cap. They're my favorite. I take 2 of their pills in the morning and 2 of their pills at night when I'm really trying to get after, if I ever have any sort of uncomfortableness when I'm getting after it. Do parasites cause constipation? Yes, 100% they do. If so, how do you clear the pathway before starting? Castor oil on the belly, red light therapy, coffee enemas, colonics. Someone said prune juice with a slab of butter. Heat that up till the butter is melted and chug it down. I've heard that works at the hospital. That's a hospital recipe from when I worked in the hospital. Just try and do all the things. Colonics and coffee enemas are going to be you're a really great friend of yours, but I really like red light therapy and I really like to put castor oil and then red light and shine it. One thing I did yesterday, which is pretty wild, I can't believe I'm even sharing this. So you know how like Troy Casey's on here and Shervin, and they're both like sunning their bumhole? Well, I'm not going to that extreme. I'm not going outside and sunning anything. But I did with my red light, and let me tell you, it was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. Because red light is like, the body recognizes that as the sun. So I did go to the bathroom a couple times after I did it, so it was pretty helpful. Why can't you up production of Red Artist to keep it in stock? Well, because I have to forage it. I forage it myself. Me and Jeremy forage the mushrooms that are in Red Artist, and I only have a little bit of time. So we have found someone in Oregon that will help us forage it, but it's unfortunate because they send it to us in ginormous artist conch, is like this big and red belted, and we have to cut it still. So we are just two people, and it is so hard for us, so much so that we moved out of our dream home because we can't get it finished because we are doing all of this, and had to move into an apartment in Seattle in order for Jeremy to then look at our log home as a job. So today he left Seattle, drove 2 hours to our log home, and is working on our log home, and then we'll drive 2 hours back. He has some plans to stay a couple of nights during the week to get things done, but some of you might not know this. We did not have heat in our home until October of this year. So we were living in that house for over a year with no heat during the winter, and it was really uncomfortable. So we we're kind of prioritizing a little bit differently now in our life, and I think that's really important because I can't keep doing this if I'm not gonna be helping myself. So anyway, that's why we can't get Red Artist in faster. And it also takes 8 weeks to soak because it's a mushroom, and we like to get the whole 8 weeks in. So it's really difficult for us to get it processed in the 8 weeks and get it over to Jonesboro. Yeah, I'll save this live for those of you that are on TikTok. If you want to rewatch this live, I always save my lives over on Instagram. So I'll save this on Instagram if you want to rewatch any of this. Same with Instagram, you can rewatch it. I love that Instagram has that option. TikTok really needs that option. I mean, they're really copying Instagram in a lot of ways, like the stories. Oh my God, you guys, I love the stories over on TikTok now. They have them. I love them because I love stories. Okay, what red light recommended? Well, if you can't afford to get a red light from Therasage, there is a red light option on my Amazon storefront. It's about $45. I love it. It's approved. It's 660 MRZ, which is what you need for it to actually penetrate through your skin. So, wow, you're amazing and very appreciated. Oh, thanks. I'm not saying any of this to make anyone feel bad, but like, so in November, I was not doing super great. I was not feeling well. Things were not really going great with my health. And that's kind of what pushed me to go test myself for Lyme, just to see if there was some other options that I might have, and there are. Anyway, I just need to prioritize myself. I'm not going to do any good for anyone. My team, my company, my community, if I am not well. And I was starting down the I'm not getting well track. My hair was falling out again. I was not doing well. So I need to do well. And it was very difficult to make the decision to leave my log home that I've been working on since 2016 and full-time since 2019 and move 2 hours away. But I really love it here. And just since moving here in the last 6 weeks, I've been walking outside more. We have a gym upstairs. Like, there's things that I miss living like a normal person, right? Because living in the woods and doing what Jeremy and I did made us hermits. We didn't have a lot of interaction with people. So, and I'm an extrovert, 90% of an extrovert, but I didn't have a lot of interaction with people. And after 2020, I really had zero interaction with people because we're not from Washington and we don't have the same Washingtonian beliefs as Washington. And some of you may know this, but our neighborhood in Washington wanted to put a red circle around us, our property, because we didn't follow the Washington guidelines of the mask and that. And so we just decided to not speak with anyone. So we really didn't talk to anyone for like 2 years. It was wild. Anyway. Hi, Melanie. How are you? What size capsules should I order? I think they'll work better for my teenagers. Empty capsules, size 00. Put the drops in there and call it good. But don't pre-make them. Aw, thanks. I even have a die-off. Like, I'm doing a little bit of a different cleanse, and I'm not going to talk about it until I've done it for a week, but it's pushing this out. And I mean, y'all know when I start looking at cleanses, what that looks like for all of us, right? Because parasite cleansing, mold cleansing, support kit, and I have Lyme. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm opening a new shop, so we're gonna have space. My husband's Melanie said my husband's skin cleared up on his last cleanse. Oh my God, that's amazing! Oh my gosh. Eczema, psoriasis, like it all derives from the gut. Can't find your red light therapy on your Amazon page. Email team@rogerso.com. I haven't looked at it since JF did it, but I know it's on there somewhere. I'm on day 2. Hi, I love you. Hi, Nicole. I'm on day 2 of Purify after Gutty. Oh my goodness, Gutty. You made it through the 3 days of Gutty. Congratulations. Gutty is hard. I know Gutty is hard. You're welcome, but Bella, if you can't find it, just email us. We really don't mind. My team is there to help. You can DM us. You can comment. You can email. Wendy, Base Camp for Leaders. Hi. Do you think thyroid issues with elevated antibodies are parasite related? Mine was. Once I started doing castor oil packs and castor oil with red light with Purify kit, my levels went down. I've had consecutive levels with no change to my Synthroid for 2 years. So I haven't had to change. Also, not medical advice. I was a specialist in endocrine though. Do not take levothyroxine. And if you're on it, switch to Synthroid. So if you're taking levothyroxine, it is generic of Synthroid. And the way that the pharmacists make Synthroid, well, the way the Big P makes levothyroxine is they take some sodium and then they take Synthroid and they mix it together and they make your pills. Well, what's the problem with that? The problem is you don't know how much Synthroid you're actually getting. So if your levels are up and down and up and down, it's because your pills have a little sodium and then have a lot of Synthroid and then a little Synthroid and a lot of sodium, and you don't know because they don't tailor make them. So if you are on any sort of thyroid medication, it should be brand name only. And when you go to your doctor and you tell them you're having these side effects, you don't want to be on the generic anymore, they can write a medical necessity, which then is a waiver for your insurance company to give you the brand name only. Your doctor has to write it on the RX or call it in. And when you open up your Synthroid, you need to dump it in your hand before you leave and make sure that all of the pills say Synthroid. Because a lot of times the Synthroid is jumbled up with the levothyroxine. You do not need levothyroxine, you need brand name only. All thyroid medicine should be brand name only, always. Other medications, I know I'm going to be asked, other medications, not as big of a deal, but thyroid medicine, your thyroid runs your skin, your hair, your body, everything you can think of, your hormones, and if it's off, bad. It's guaranteed to not be as off with Synthroid because you're getting all Synthroid, okay? If that makes sense. Does that make sense to everyone? That is my biggest suggestion in life. It was a game changer for everyone around me, my whole family that is on a thyroid medicine. My family doesn't really follow me. They don't really follow me, period, but my family doesn't really, I don't have an MD behind my name, and so a lot of my family doesn't believe everything I'm saying, and so it's a struggle, right? But the moment that they listen to me about the Synthroid, their entire life changed, And it was wild. It was wild to watch my grandmother, who was on levothyroxine, who like couldn't really walk super great because her legs were always tired. She couldn't chew her food because her jaw was always tired. The moment she switched over to Synthroid, bam, bam, game changer. Do you think the cake can help with the opposite thyroid issue of hyper? I have hyper. I'm hyperthyroid. I think that when you start to get your body to a homeostasis level and you get your body to a point where it's working the way it's supposed to be working and you're getting the nutrients in your system the way you're supposed to be, anything's possible. Anything's possible. Go watch some of my old videos to watching my videos now. What is Gutty? Gutty is bentonite clay, coconut activated charcoal, chia seeds, and psyllium husk, and it helps pull out mucoid plaque. Everyone knows we have plaque up in our heart, but do you know, and up into our area up here in our chest, but did you know you have plaque down in your colon? It sits and it collects the grease and the yuckies, and so you gotta really try and find a way to pull that out. And Gutty is a really great way to do that. We call it the colon cleanse, but in all honesty, it's a really mucoid plaque cleanse that helps get all of it out. Yeah, just Jen Teal 0212, go talk to your doctor, but I'm telling you for insurance purposes, 2 things, because insurance was my jam, and all of these things that we have diagnoses for is for insurance purposes, right? Because they need to get paid and they need to know how to get paid, so that insurance number, the ICD codes, is what tells them. Let's go back though, I digress. Wow, I'm on levothyroxine. So at first you're gonna get resistance, just be prepared. I think at Walmart, Synthroid is like $90 if your insurance won't pay for it at all. But you can tell your doctor to do a medical necessity, saying that in fact it's not working or you have these side effects, and then they can go in and they can have your insurance pay for the whole thing. I think I pay like $5 now for my Synthroid, but at the beginning of this, when I first was endocrine and I found out about all of this, my insurance wouldn't pay for it at all, and I think it was $90 at Walmart. For me, it was worth every penny, just because it's the number one thing that you need to have operating correctly, and if your thyroid's not operating correctly, it's just going to be a tough one. So if your T3 and T4 were normal, but your antibodies were high and your doctor said you're normal, you really need to go to someone like JF. You need to go to someone like Dr. Giles. Dr. Jess is amazing. She has a great team. You just got to find someone new. Endocrine doctors are not always the nicest either, and not all of them are educated like this. I was educated like this because I'm a specialist, and then I joined a gal who was just the most amazing teacher, terrible doctor with bedside manner, amazing doctor with knowledge, terrible bedside manner. I think that neurologists and endocrinologists really have bad bedside manner, and those are usually the most genius ones too. Wendy, hi. I was trying to say that. Tell me what you're trying to say again. Should you do Gutty before or after? Before the parasite cleanse. You want to do Gutty before the parasite cleanse, but you can do Gutty during the parasite cleanse. You can do after the parasite cleanse. A lot of people that have things like diverticulitis, H. pylori, SIBO, they're really great on Gutty because it helps pull the bacteria and the toxins out of the system. Why does circulose affect me so much more than I'm not sure. Not real sugar, because your body doesn't know how to process that. Very high antibodies for me. What is the correlation between thyroid and B12 when checking labs? Well, be careful when you're B12 deficient, because it can act like a stroke. But just your body's not at homeostasis level. When your organs are not able to perform, so thyroid's an organ, right? It's picking up extra slack. So it's worn out, it's tired. Same with someone with like diabetes. Your pancreas is exhausted. You're gonna start looking at having kidney issues because your kidney's not performing, trying to overperform because the pancreas isn't performing. You look at your liver. Your liver is taxed. All of these things are not performing at the homeostasis level that they're meant to perform. So what happens? They start to fail because the kidneys are getting tired from overperforming from the pancreas, overperforming for the liver, and then all of them start to do their own failures. I have your kit, but I have to prep my body first, and I'm also purified. I definitely need gutty as well. Get it, Lauren. What if you're allergic to chia seeds? Then don't do gutty. Don't do gutty. Just bypass gutty. Why not compounded T3, T4 instead of Synthroid? I mean, you can. You can do that, Christy. Whatever your doctor says, I'm just giving an example and telling about Synthroid. I don't know anything else about compounding them. I didn't do any compounds. I just take Synthroid and I take Cytomel, both brand names. Gutty is used before the Purify Cleanse and helps cleanse the colon. Yes. Thanks for your info. Can you please explain the order, protocols, and should be done? Gutty, Meadow, Mold. Gutty, Fulvic, Purify, Moldies, Support. But everything in the kit is all to be taken together. So heavy metal detox is in the Purify. In the Purify kit. You should do parasites, candida, and heavy metals all at once. You're already having die-offs. You might as well get them all out of the way. You do that 2 to 3 times, and then you head over to the Moldies kit. You do that 2 or 3 times. Then go back over to Purify. Do that a few times. And in between, do the Support kit. The Support kit is Sustain from the Purify kit and Immune and Recover from the Moldies kit. It's just to support you. It's just to help you. Sustain is an anti-parasitic. It has Oregon grapefruit. It's one of my favorite tinctures. And when you add it to Immune and Recover, it's just helping your body. It's like digestive aid. Oh my gosh, I'm catching you live. Do you know anything about Morge? Well, I don't say Morge, the whole word. I also don't say the whole word of either because it gets me banned. Purify. Just take Purify. Fulvic. Fulvic is going to be your best friend. Do a full body Fulvic soak. Get a couple Fulvic packets. I think they're like 1.5 ounces. Get like 2 and do a full body, do foot. I had Morge. If you go back and you watch a couple of my Fulvic videos, one swimming. Yep, they came out of my feet and they're swimming. All right, I'm going to go here in a few minutes. My battery on here is dying. I got 40 here. I don't even know what I got on my phone. I only have one more battery and I don't have a plug. I don't have a plug anywhere. All right. I mean, I'm not really starting Lyme treatment per se. I have been reading Dr. Rawls, Bill Rawls. I love him. I think he's great. Because it's chronic and I've taken multiple antibiotics over my life and it's never changed anything, I'm gonna do a different round of herbs that I've never done before. And when I'm done with them, I'll share it a little bit more. But you can go over to Dr. Rawls and you can read about his Lyme and how he has treated his Lyme. Just because, like, I haven't taken it yet, so I'm not really like talking about it too much. I think I just need to get another battery. This one just died. Let me see if I got another battery. I could stay on a few more minutes if I have another battery. Hold on. I gotta pee. Just a moment. Okay. Maybe that's what I'll do today. I gotta order batteries and cords. I got stuff I got to do. Okay. The fact that the entire world was banned is so crazy to me. I feel like the government is withholding. I mean, if you trust the government, don't do it. Our best interests are at their heart. Okay. What medications can you take if you're allergic to alcohol? I'm not sure. We're full of our tinctures are alcohol based. So you can't take ours then. Seems like lime is a bioweapon. I mean, I'm not here for that. I'm here, one, to help people that do have it. Lyme, parasites, mold. I'm here for us to not get caught in that spiraling of it, because you can literally spiral, right? You can get so angry and spiral, but I'm not here for that. So I'm here to help. Okay, it's so weird from living in a house on a piece of property on an acre for so long and then moving into an apartment. People are wild. All right. I'm allergic to alcohol and I can handle it. Triple negative breast cancer back in my MLA after double chemo is it back in the lungs. Lining, oh, I'm so sorry. If you're on chemo, you can't take our kit. We are on day 10 and my little ones say their bumps are kind of itchy. That's normal. Do you think it's safe to do the castor oil pills for 5 nights while we're, yes. Yes, I think it's safe. Day 3, feeling very tired. That's normal. Should I rest to try to walk and sweat? Yes. Do your best to sweat, walk, get going. Also, is it normal to feel like food is coming back up most of the day? Yes. That's like the GERD because they're in your lymphatic. So I highly recommend doing a castor oil and a red light. Not sure if you mentioned this already, but any recommendations on when to do the first Fulvic when starting? Anytime. Anytime you want to do Fulvic. Anytime. Yep. Start before, after, during. You can do Fulvic anytime. Should people with blood cancer do parasite cleansing? You can't do Parafine. You can't do any parasite cleansing from what I can tell you, but you can research it. Yes, parasites cause swollen lymph and spleen pain. I put mine in hot water to burn off the alcohol. My herbalist gave me that advice. 5 to 10 minutes, not boiling, but warm. And we do have that in the fast track guide. There is a bunch of explanations on how to burn off the alcohol. Okay, you guys, I appreciate you all so very much. Remember, you can always email us, text us, or DM us, comment. If there's anything you guys need, let us know. Okay, I'm gonna go. You guys have a really great weekend. I appreciate you all for your support. Okay, bye. I'll save it on Insta. Okay, bye.